I'm Brad Browning, and I've been YouTube's leading breakup coach since 2012. And in my 13 plus years as a breakup coach, I've learned a lot about breakups, about relationships, about human psychology, and of course, about getting back together with your ex. And in this video, I want to share with you one of the very first lessons that I learned early on. And that is that you should never chase your ex, no matter what. And in this video, I'll explain what exactly I mean by that and why it's so important if you do want your ex back. Now, if you want to watch my full video tutorial on getting a second chance with your ex, go to breakupbrad.com after this video is over and you can watch that full video for free. Again, just go to breakupbrad.com, select your gender and watch the full tutorial to learn way more about how to get your ex back as quickly as possible. Now, like I said, the idea that you should never chase your ex is something that I learned very early on, and it's been one of the most consistent lessons that I've had to teach my clients ever since. Because if you do want to give yourself the best possible chance of starting over with your ex, you simply cannot let yourself start chasing them. It just doesn't work, even though it's the natural human reaction to a breakup and often feels like the right way to get them back. So what do I mean by chase your ex? I mean, obviously, I'm not talking about literally running down the street after them, although that would be an extreme example. What I am referring to is really any action that essentially leads you to actively pursue your ex in an attempt to change their mind about breaking up or to convince them to take you back. Now, this can be as simple as texting your ex repeatedly when they don't respond initially, but it's generally a little bit more abstract. It's more about your own mindset and your approach to dealing with your ex. Chasing your ex means begging, pleading, spamming them with messages or calls, apologizing over and over, agreeing to their every demand, allowing them to manipulate or use you, sending them flowers or gifts. These are all things that I would define as chasing your ex, and they're all terrible for your chances of ever getting them back. What I don't mean, though, is that you should simply, stop putting in any effort to win back your ex. That's not what I'm saying at all. There are tons of things that you can do, some of them that you can do starting today, right now, to improve your chances and make your ex ask you for another chance. In fact, my best-selling X Factor program is literally an entire online program outlining countless strategies and techniques that you can actively employ to reverse your breakup and win your ex back for good. If you want to learn about all of those tactics, pick up a copy at breakupbrad.com. But really, for the purpose of this video, suffice to say that I don't think you should stop trying to get your ex back or accept the old cliche that, your ex will come back if it's meant to be. As I mentioned earlier, chasing your ex is what most humans will naturally tend to do when they're dumped or when they change their mind about breaking up. When we want something from someone else in life, we generally ask for it, or we bargain for it, or we buy it. We don't try to play mind games or think about psychology. But when it comes to getting your ex back, asking for another chance, begging for another chance, trying to buy or bribe your way into another chance, trying to convince an ex to change their mind, those are the exact opposite things of what actually makes your ex want to take you back. So it is counterintuitive and it doesn't come naturally. Our instinct is usually to chase after our ex and try to tighten our grip as we feel them slip further and further away. But contrary to your instincts, the right way to go about things is actually the exact opposite of that, at least in most cases. And frankly, emotions play a big role in this. You probably love your ex a lot, you miss them like crazy, and you want them to know that. You want to tell them how badly you want to try again and start over, or explain how things will be different. You fear losing your ex for good, and you worry that that's going to happen unless you act now and convince them to take you back. But really, when you act on those emotions and fears, you're just chasing your ex and usually making it harder and harder to ever get them back. See, when you ask or beg your ex to take you back, you immediately lower your own value, so to speak, in the eyes of your ex. All of a sudden, you put your ex in total control and you hand them all the power. You basically make yourself subservient to them. And this is fundamentally unattractive, and 99% of the time, it's going to make your ex more confident that breaking up was the right choice. They're not usually going to think to themselves, wow, this is pathetic. My ex is a loser and I can do better. But they will subconsciously perceive you in a less positive, less attractive way. They might still tell you they love you and miss you, even after you do and say things that lower your value, but they will see you differently on a subconscious level, and that's going to result in them being less and less interested in ever getting back together. And more than that, when you do chase your ex, this typically ends up with you being willing to do or say anything that will give you a chance to talk to them or to see them in person. You're totally vulnerable to being used and manipulated by your ex, and you remove any sense of urgency or pressure for your ex to change their mind. Now, this is especially true if you decide to ignore my advice and not employ a period of no contact after the breakup. When you're always there for your ex, you always immediately reply to their texts, agree to whatever time and place they suggest to meet up, and bend over backwards at any chance to help them with a favor. Now, these are obviously nice things to do, but they show your ex that they can have whatever relationship with you that they want. You'll be there, ready to reply to their text instantly, or pick up the phone and agree to pick them up from the bar at 2 a.m. And you'll be there if, at any point in the future, they want to change their mind about breaking up and get back together. Now, I know that might sound amazing. My ex knows that I'm eagerly ready to get back together anytime they want. Great. But the problem is with the phrase anytime. Your ex doesn't need to change their mind today, tomorrow, or even after they start dating new people. As long as you're chasing them, they have no urgency to take you back, and you'll always serve as a backup plan for them. So when you apply the no contact strategy, for example, you're not giving your ex what they want. You're not giving them an unlimited time frame to test the waters or find somebody new, knowing that they can just change their mind about breaking up and you'll readily agree. Sure, you would agree if they asked, and that doesn't need to change. But they need to worry that you may not agree and feel like the clock is ticking and soon you'll move on and find somebody new, forcing them to commit permanently to the breakup. No contact upends your ex's expectations and forces them to feel the full consequences of breaking up, along with creating, uncertainty about what you're doing and whether you'll be willing to take them back. And that can often, by itself, change your ex's mind about breaking up. In fact, I see it all the time when my coaching clients use no contact. Their ex will often panic after a week or two of silence and realize that this might be permanent unless they change their mind soon, and then they buckle under the pressure and fear of loss. So again, no contact is a perfect example of not chasing your ex, and yet still improving the chances of getting back together. Similarly, that's why I recommend strategies like what I call covert jealousy, which you can learn more about in some of my past YouTube videos or at breakupbrad.com. And even stuff as minute as, waiting a few hours to respond to your ex's text messages can make a big difference to ensure that you're not chasing your ex and letting them take the driver's seat. Sending your ex gifts, flowers, or love notes, these are signs of desperation, and they're going to come across to your ex as though you're chasing after them. And while there might be, 1 in 1,000 cases where spilling out your heart to your ex in a long love letter will actually work and help you win them back, the other 999 times out of 1,000, it's just going to be a turnoff for your ex, and it's going to shift the balance of power even further in their favor. So if you do want to do that kind of thing, gush your heart out to your ex, get down on your knees and beg them to forgive you, show up their door with a ring and propose marriage, then do it knowing that it's only to satisfy your need to share your feelings or to ensure that you don't regret not doing so down the road. Because in terms of how effective this kind of thing is to actually convincing your ex to take you back, well, it's just not effective at all. And I'm saying that after 13 years of experience working with clients in that exact situation. So at this point, maybe you're left wondering, are there any times when chasing your ex can be a good idea? What if your ex is the type of person who wants to be chased and will get angry or resentful if you don't put in the effort to chase them and play the game, so to speak, like they want you to? Well, frankly, that kind of situation is more about your ex's ego and desire to feel wanted than anything else. Generally speaking, you don't want to play ball regardless of what your ex wants. Although sometimes you might need to sort of, throw them a bone every now and then, just to keep them from becoming genuinely angry that you're not initiating contact enough or trying to keep their attention. But overall, no, there's almost no situation where chasing your ex is a good idea if you are hoping to get them back. And let me just share one final reason not to chase your ex beyond everything we've already talked about. It's going to hurt your own self-esteem, and it could possibly even cause people around you to lose respect for you. I mean, strong, confident people, the kind of people that are usually being chased by the opposite sex and who succeed in all aspects of life, they don't chase after others for long. They have the confidence and self-belief not to play that game, and the willpower and discipline to use proven effective strategies like no contact and everything else that I teach in my X Factor program. They adopt a mindset of, my ex made a mistake breaking up with me, and I hope they realize that before I find somebody new. They have pride and they won't let themselves be used, manipulated, or strung along by an ex, even if they love them and miss them. So basically, by not chasing your ex, you improve your chances of getting them back, and you're taking the high road and showcasing your confidence and self-worth to everyone around you, including your ex. Now, if you want to know whether you still have a chance with your ex or whether you've already been chasing them for too long to have any hope of getting them back, just go to breakupbrad.com/quiz and take a few minutes to complete my free quiz. Not only will you get to see how likely it is that you'll get them back, you'll also get a list of personalized recommendations on what to do next. Again, that URL is breakupbrad.com/quiz. And finally, if you want my personal help with your situation, all you have to do is go to breakupbrad.com/coaching and sign up today. All right, I hope you guys didn't find this video too abstract or preachy, and I hope you'll really take what I've said to heart and stop chasing your ex from now on. Good luck out there, everyone, and thanks for watching.